this all falls under the umbrella of digital marketing. Okay, so it's just a big, broad term. I'll say it to you a different way. This is the future of your real estate business. You can like it, you can not like it, you can wish the world goes back to 1985, you can do whatever you want to do, but this is the future of your real estate business. I just want you to be aware of it. I don't want you to become a master of this, okay? I pay smart people to be around you to help you be the master of it. And we've not talked about any of this stuff before, okay? So hopefully you brought something to take some notes with. But are you going to become a master of all this information? You are not. I just want you to be aware of it and to be thinking about how could I make this work in my business, okay? That's the mindset to come at this with today. Make sense? Okay. We're not going to talk about buying leads. That's just dumb. That's so 10 years ago. We're not going to talk about syncing up with Zillow. We're not going to talk about being on some dude's team and he gives you internet buyer leads because he doesn't want to work them and he knows that you haven't figured out how to generate them yourself. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff because it's dumb, it's antiquated, and it's so 10 years ago. We're going to talk about how you market yourself. Now look, I was going to say a lot. Let's just say all. All of us didn't get into real estate thinking that we were getting into a business to market ourselves. Okay? I can still remember getting into the business and I just thought I would get a real estate license and people would call me and ask them to help or buy or sell a home. Now, just a little be honest this morning. Don't leave me hanging out here all by myself, okay? How many of you got your real estate license like me thinking that's how it was going to work? Okay, everybody that didn't put their hand up's a big liar. Yeah, you did. And that's why your customers all think that we're so grossly overpaid. Because it just doesn't look that hard. It's incredibly hard. It just doesn't look that way. I just thought real estate agents drove around in big, nice, expensive cars and wore really nice clothes and went to lunch with people and told stories all the time. Has anybody had a day like that? You just drive around in your S-Class Mercedes going from lunch and coffee meetings with the girls or the guys and you just...
Dwayne does.
I don't know. Isn't that what our job is? Yeah, I know. This one especially. And then we get in and we say things like, well, I'm going to specialize in luxury. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that means. Well, I'm going to sell big, nice, expensive homes to rich people. I'm like, well, can I get me some of that too? That sounds great. How are you going to do that? Well, I am. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the how and the modern how. Digital marketing for the modern agent. Okay, so let's get started. You got the clicker?
Yeah, I do. Okay,
so the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to start off easy, but something that we already have, something I've already paid for, and now this is a special kind of stupid on my part, right? I've already bought this, I've already paid for it, we already have it. When Rob saw it, he went, oh, that's pretty good. I'm like, really? You think so? He goes, yeah. So what is it?
All right, we're going to first talk about the C21 social ad engine, which is under 21online.com. You can find it there. It's basically already the optimization, the research, and the planning has already been done for you guys by C21 Corporate. Their social media staff has already broken all of this down. This is what it looks like when you go there. So you can choose from different templates. It's basically, the way they explain it is you spend smart, you save time, and you sell more, okay? It takes under 5 minutes to set up a Facebook ad there. That is not reality when it comes to setting up Facebook ads if you go through Facebook's platform. It doesn't happen. Everybody knows it's a pain in the butt. Campaigns are based on your goals, and what they do is they take all of these questions that Facebook asks you, like 150 of them in the back end in the ads platform, and it basically dumbs it down to a couple of questions. Like, what's your goals? What do you want to do? It takes that information and breaks it out answers all of those questions on Facebook for you out of the answers that you give it. You can use it to increase awareness of a listing maybe. You can drive traffic to a listing's website. You can generate leads from Facebook and Instagram, both with these ads. That's one of the options in the Facebook ad engine, and it's been passed through to the C21 social ad engine. And it's designed to drive business, not just likes. A lot of, if you try to you get sucked into the trap. You try to set up an ad in Facebook and you're like, yeah, I want more likes, I want more followers. It's like that crack, and you just, I want that, I want that, I want that. That doesn't do anything for you. This is designed to drive business for you, not just likes. And like I said, Facebook ads are not for the faint of heart. People get bogged down in it. Most people give up on them when they get into Facebook ad setup and they see it and they realize how complicated it is. And the system simplifies the whole process, and it takes those questions and narrows it down. And one of the cool things about it is you guys all the time are saying, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to, how do I write copy for this? How do I make it make sense? This has a tool that will actually take your copy and make it better for you. It will help you rewrite the copy to try to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And that is hard to come by, because if you go in natively to Facebook's ad system and try to set it up, the ad is going to say exactly what you type into that box. You don't get any help. This has some help for it. It's really cool. And you can find it on 21online.com. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us once we get to 21 Online, then where do we go?
Type social ad engine.
Social ad.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it in the productivity hub?
You can find it under the productivity hub, or you can just type in the search box social ad engine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we're going to touch on a number of different subjects this morning. If you let us move on to the next subject and you don't understand what we just talked about, we fail. Okay, because if you don't quite get something, the person sitting next to you doesn't get it either. They're just not willing to put their hand up and say, what? Okay, and you're going to feel that way this morning. So don't let us do that. Social ad engine. This is a proprietary product that only we have. Rip.
I was just going to ask if we can get this PowerPoint
Yes.
later. We're not going to write down every
On Workplace, yes, it'll be on Workplace. Yes, ma'am.
When you say you can direct it multiple campaigns and increase awareness of listing and drive traffic to either website, websites, but what about YouTube? Will it direct it to pick up YouTube? If you have a YouTube channel?
If you have a YouTube channel, it depends on where you're linking. If you're linking to your YouTube channel, yes. You determine where it goes.
Okay.
So that's why my examples were listings, to a new listing coming or a listing's website once it's live. You put in the URL of where you want it to go.
Okay. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a program that will make running social media ads much more simple and intuitive for you. Okay, so Rob and I were talking about it yesterday, and you said part of the problem with Facebook and their ad center is they talk in code, and they don't talk in real estate agentese.
Right.
Right?
They talk in digital marketer code. So their biggest clients that spend the most money with them and who their platform is designed for are people ad agencies who buy Facebook ads by the hundreds of thousands for giant clients. So when you get in there, you're going to see terms that you don't understand. It's not broken down for you. They have rewritten it. It's almost ads for dummies. But you guys aren't dummies, but everyone's bought those books before where you want to understand something and it's kind of transcribed for you in that manner. Yeah, Casey.
It's pretty easy to use. While we've been talking, I've actually logged into it and already linked my Facebook account to it.
There you go. And
If Casey can do it, come on.
and that was like 2 minutes. So,
Questions?
go
So-
try it out. I highly recommend you try this out, guys. At least link your Facebook account to it and get started. You don't have to pull the trigger on an ad today. Just get yourself set up so when you get ready to, and then you can test it out.
So what, Rip?
Well, and I don't want to get ahead of you because you may be answering some of these questions. So say we got a video that we're wanting to, put an ad on.
Mm-hmm.
Is it posted through this to send out, or are we still posting through Facebook, Instagram, and then linking this? Like,
Yeah, it'll be using links. So you'll make like a Facebook post and it'll say
still
which post.
like normal,
Yeah.
and then go to this.
Yes. Yeah. This doesn't actually post for you unless you're just creating an ad without a post. If you've run Facebook ads in the past, that it'll say, would you like your ad to be a post you've posted, or would you like to create a brand new ad? So it's the same kind of situation. In your case, for the video, you could do either one.
So why should we run ads?
Because if you're just posting onto Facebook, you're preaching to the choir. You're only talking to the people that have already liked your page, your friends that you share it with. That's the only, and not even all of them, a small percentage. An ad on social media is going to expand you to a much larger audience. Now, in this industry, we are, hey, I see Tracy back there. Hey, Tracy. We kind of have some regulations that Facebook has put on us about where you can run the ad, the radius you can run the ad. Those still apply in here, but I explain it like this: if you're trying to run an ad in Roswell for real estate, and you utilize Facebook's stipulations where it has to be a 15-mile radius. You run it in this 15-mile radius, you're still running an ad in Roswell. You don't care if people in Marietta or Canton see it because they're not going to click on it, and you're not going to be charged for it. So still run it, but that exposes it to the audience that you select, which with real estate is pretty much everyone.
Okay, so let's do a little show of hands here. How many people are actively using social media ads in their marketing campaign? Okay,
Yep.
so here's what we need to do. We need that to be everybody in the room, okay? Because here's your choice. This is your choice. Whether you make it or not, these are your choices. You can sit at home and wait for people to call you. That's your choice. Let me know how that works out for you, okay? You can go to Zillow and give them 35% of your income. OpCity, Realtor.com, they'll all take 35% of your income too. They're glad to do it. You can do that. You can go get on some dude's team and they'll take 50% or more, somewhere between 50 and 85%, depending on how gullible you are. You can do that. You can get on the phone today and you can pound out 3 hours worth of cold calls. Leanne, that one's for you, okay? Okay. You can do that. You got to do something, okay? Or you could do a little bit of all of it. You could. What we're trying to do here is give you different ways of marketing yourself. Facebook ads are going to cost me 35% of my income.
No.
So if I make $10,000 per deal, my Facebook ads, I need to be spending $3,500.
No.
What kind of budget should I have?
Facebook ads are incredibly inexpensive. You get a lot for a little on Facebook ads. So some of the bigger campaigns in here will spend $200 over 2 weeks. And some of the smaller ones that are pretty successful as well will spend 40 or 50.
How do I know how much I should be spending?
Unfortunately, there's no magic formula for that. You spend, and if it works, and it works really well, you can back down a little bit, see if it keeps working. If you spend and it's not working, you need to up that number a little bit.
You could do that, or you could just go get on somebody's team and give them 50% of your income because you don't know how to market yourself and they do. So you'll pay them all this money out of the work you did for them to give you leads. Why don't you just go develop your own leads? Well, I don't know how. Well, that's what we're talking about.
Can you link just to your Facebook business page? Like, it's prompted me to connect to my personal page, but I would rather it be connected to my business page. Is there a way you can link it to your business page rather than your personal?
Yeah, you can do both.
Questions? Okay,
right.
so let's talk about Google for a minute, okay? Google My Business and local services ads, okay? Google My Business. Who has, just show of hands, who has built out a Google business page? Okay, raise your hands again if you've done this. Why is this not 100% of the people in the room? Because it costs too much? Okay, so now some of you get ready not to like me very much right now, but you need to hear this, and I ain't joking. Lack of initiative. That's why. You don't give a damn. That's why. To you, I don't know what to say. How much does this cost? Google business page.
It's free.
It's free. If it's free and it's highly effective, why aren't you doing it? Like somebody, either right now or later, just corner me and say, Mike, I want you to understand why it's free and it's effective and I'm not doing it. Okay? Because I'm desperately trying to understand this. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Why don't you talk about what it is?
My turn. My turn. All right. So you got 3 columns here: Google My Business, content, and video. They don't show up different colors, but they are actually different colors. The column on the short column on each one is about where you should be, or where you are up to this point, most of you, on that focus on what you're doing with these. So you got content, video, and Google My Business. Google My Business is over there because of the hands that just went up in the room. And the column on the left, the tall column, is where your focus should shift immediately. Okay? This is something that is fairly new, so a lot of people still don't know about it, and a lot of people aren't doing it, which means you should. Yes, sir? So let's talk about it. This is a Google search page. This is when you search for something, this is what you get in its entirety, if you could see the whole thing. And it has several different parts. Google has changed this for the first time in 5 years. They do this about every 5 years. They will make a pretty drastic change to their search page. All right, so let's take a look at the different parts. Up at the top, you now have something called Google Screened.
I want to interrupt for just a second. I want you to notice that the agents on this screenshot are 3 of the most productive agents on the East Coast of the United States. They're already doing this, and it's free. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to contradict that in one moment, but
well, it's mostly free.
There you go. All right, so you have Google Screened at the top, right there. All right, the next section down, you have Google Ads. That shows up underneath that. Okay, let's move on down. This next section, that is Google My Business.
Whoa, looky there. So company-wise, we show up. Look who's number 2.
Samantha Hart.
Samantha Hart. How's some
ratings?
Well, whoever said that, get out, okay?
Yelling here.
So,
how did Samantha get to number 2?
well, Samantha's done something very intuitive, and I don't know if she knew to do it or if she was just taking a stab in the dark.
Of course she knew to do it.
But Samantha, you see, has reviews in there, and she has actual hours of operation. All of these things and a lot more we're going to talk about are very important in Google's algorithm moving forward. All right.
Hold on. Are you saying robust, complete content is really important?
It matters.
We suck at that.
It matters.
Okay? Not any of us individually. collectively as an industry, we like to blow and go. We don't like to get bogged down in details. It's what's typical of great salespeople. But Google ain't great salespeople. Google wants robust, complete content. If you don't do it, you ain't showing up here.
That's right.
Who thinks their customers aren't Googling them before you start doing business with them? You think somebody isn't checking you out online before they hire you? You have a listing appointment this afternoon, you think they're not already checking you out on social media and Google and looking at your reviews and judging you before you ever show up? If you've had a listing appointment and you didn't get the listing and you're kind of surprised why, I'm not. They weren't that impressed with you before you even showed up. Go ahead.
So you see Century 21 Connect Realty's hours open, closes 5 p.m. Sam's closes 10 p.m. Google Google is looking for very specific numbers there. Lots of real estate agents that we searched had open 24/7. Google sees that and goes, BS, not listing them. Because they know it's not true. You've got to have actual hours of operation. Okay? And if you don't put anything in there, they put a listing beside your name that says possibly closed due to COVID-19. So put your actual hours that you work in there. And then underneath it down here, fourth on the page now, are organic search results. That's just what Google's page used to start right there before these other products came along, okay? So Google My Business gets you in the upper part of that page. It's free. Google Local Services will get you up at the top. That part's not free, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. All right, let's talk about Google My Business. So when you go to set it up, this is the page you're going to see, and you're going to see how it shows up on people's phones right here, okay? This example, the Chicago Music Exchange, this is how you get the buttons that say call, get directions, message them, go to their website. All the four main things that you want anyone trying to reach you to ever possibly do are right there under the name, as is your rating with reviews and your stars, okay? Your address.
Pause there for a second.
Yeah.
So Sam had 5 stars, the company only had 4.2, so Sam beats us.
No, that is not true.
Why?
5 stars is not always good because Google sees that and goes, BS, not true. Every company in the world, every person that's ever done business has had a customer who had a bad day. Not their fault. They just had a bad day. So if you manage to get 200 people to review you and you've got 5 stars, Google sees that and says, BS, not true. They ran a bot, they ran a program or something. 4.5, 4.6 to 4.9 is the sweet spot, okay? We ranked above her with a 4.2, but we had more realistic hours of operation. Close at 5 p.m. Google's like, I'll buy that. This girl may be working till 10 p.m. I don't know. But she had a lot of reviews too. So
Sam, here's what we need you to do. We need you to go malpractice on somebody and get a bad review, okay?
So if you get that 4.8, 4.7 range, 4.9, then you carry more weight in the algorithm than you do actually with a 5.0. All right? So keep that in mind. So this is what you want your stuff to look like. The Chicago Music Exchange's example here. All right, so let's talk about Google My Business. You have to treat this, as of earlier this year, you have to treat this like a social platform. And I know that almost all of you hate it when I say that because you don't want another social platform. You don't even want to post on the ones you got, but you're going to have to. Google makes the rules. We just follow the rules.
So watch. Get up, get dressed, go to work. Why? Because you got to get all this stuff done every day. You have to. You're going to get left behind if you don't. Well, how do I get all this stuff done? You get up, you get dressed, and you go to work. You treat your business like a business, right? You got a lot of stuff to get done every day. This is just, and it's not getting less. Anybody ever feel that? It's getting more, right? Only if you want to compete in this world.
You got to fully flesh this thing out. If you had a Facebook page, business page, and you didn't have profile picture, or you never made a post on it, is it going to work? No. This is the exact same thing. You got to fully flesh it out. What does fleshing it out mean? Pumping it full of content. 50 photos at least. Find 50 photos and post them on your Google My Business. All right? There's an app for that, by the way. If you don't have the app, please download it. It's available for iPhone and Android. 10 videos.
What's the name of the app?
Google My Business.
Say it slower.
Google My Business. You're going to have to fill out, there's a questions and answers section. You have to have, Google's algorithm doesn't kick in with your Google My Business until you have 5 questions on your Google My Business page with answers. So get 5 people to ask you questions and answer them. Okay?
Sam, you had a question.
From that app, you can also ask for reviews.
Yes, you can. Yep.
Okay, before you go on, I'm a real estate agent, so let's be real with each other for a second, okay? Well, 40 photos and 9 videos and 2 questions, that'll be good enough. Guys, it won't.
It won't.
It won't. This is the minimum requirement. You're not going to show up. And your customers, this is why it's important. Don't miss it. When you don't show up as a reasonable business to your customers, they don't want to work with you. And you don't do that with businesses you interact with either. When I Google something, I want their business page showing up right there, and I would just want to click on their website. I don't want to go down all the search results. And if you don't have a business page, I wonder what kind of rinky-dink business you are. Why? It's free. And as a consumer, it's what I want. Well, that's just too much trouble, and I don't want to do it, and I don't have time, and that you are going to get left behind. Okay?
All right. So once you get the 50, 10, and 5, you can start posting your listings like products. All right? So you get a listing, there's a product, you can sell a product on your Google My Business page, post your listing as a product. Make posts just like you do on Facebook. But here's the caveat. These posts disappear after 7 days. Poof, gone, like you never made it. You have to keep posting. If you post something right now on the top of your Facebook business page, if you didn't post again for a year, people will go there and that post will be there. The timestamp will be, unfortunate, but it's still going to be there. It doesn't go away. These go away after 7 days to the minute that you post it. So you have to keep posting. You get that app, it's going to make it so much easier. You can post, you can load photos, videos, ask questions, ask for reviews, do all of those things right from your phone. So there's really no excuse. And you got to fill out, like I said, those actual hours of operations. Don't BS with them. Don't afraid, well, if I put 5 o'clock, then no one's going to call me at 7 when they're looking for a house. 5, 6, 7, 7:30, whatever. Be realistic though, because Google's going to call you out on it and suppress you. And again, if not, you can be flagged with the hours of operation affected.
Okay, so this cost me what?
This is free.
There's that damn word again, right? Okay.
All right, let's move on to the second layer of the cake. That was the foundation. That's the bottom layer. This is the second layer. First layer is free. These are ads. Anytime you put the word ads into something, it means not free. This is what your homepage when you go to set up Google Local Services ads looks like. Let's talk about Google Local Services ads. You need to be on this, guys. You need to, because not many other people are yet. This was only open to real estate agents around 6 or 7 months ago, and it wasn't promoted, it wasn't publicized. Only the people who stumbled upon it found it and took advantage of it. Okay? You provide a service and you do it locally. You need to be on local services ads. And it's very difficult to set up, and it's very thorough. Lanier, you started setting yours up. What's the length of time that it takes to go through this?
It's still in process, and I've been fairly diligent about it. It's a couple weeks for sure.
Yes.
There's a third-party background check they run you through. You have to have your certificate of insurance,
Yep.
which Karen, somebody can help out with. You have to give them your driver's license. I mean, it's
Your real estate license.
Yeah.
This background check, by the way, is done by Pinkerton Security, the oldest security firm in the United States of America, like since the founding of our country. So that's how important Google is taking this. Like he said, proof of insurance, copy of real estate license, driver's license, and then you answer a lot of questions. You go through the whole background check. They are not going to put their little green check and their name beside it that says Google screened or Google guaranteed unless they 100% believe you and what you do and who you are, and that it's not going to come back to bite them. This carries a ton of weight with people because of this process. All right?
Okay, so watch to what Rob said. Just a show of hands, how many people right now are running Google Local Services ads? Look around the room. Nobody. So because nobody else is doing it, do you think that might be a good idea for you? Yes. Watch what everybody else is doing and go the exact opposite direction. Absolutely. That's the opportunity. Because nobody in the room's doing it is why you want to be doing it. Why aren't they doing it?
Well, first of all, a lot of people didn't know about it, and it's, again, it's new to real estate agents. And I want to cover the not free part here. I want to talk about that for a second, because you're used to paying for ads and paying for a pay-per-click, all right? And it's pennies, maybe $1 or $2 if you set your threshold up there on the click. The click doesn't really carry that much weight with you, okay? These are pushed out to people in a manner that if they actually can tap a button and call you right then and there, and you only pay for the leads that call you, get you on the phone, unless you set it to fill out a form or some other option. The number one option to go with is calling you, because these leads are not pennies or $1. They vary in city to city around the country. In Los Angeles, they're $125 a lead. New York, they're $61. In Atlanta, they're around $25, $26 a lead. But this is a person that you've actually spoken to on the phone. And I'm pretty sure your conversion rate of someone you've actually spoken to on the phone is much higher than some rando who clicked on your lead, clicked on your ad.
$26 a call?
A call.
You mean it's not 35% of my income?
No, it's $26.
Okay.
So,
Dwayne.
So for everyone over 40, we all know what the Better Business Bureau is. That little green check next to your name is the new Better Business Bureau check in our office.
yep.
Okay.
Yep. So here's the thing. Because I had this question when I was discussing this in the hall yesterday with somebody. Yeah, but what if a person calls me and they're looking for commercial real estate and they just saw my name in real estate and called? I'm not paying $26 for that. You don't have to. All of these calls go into the back end of your Google Local Services ads, and you approve or archive them. And if it's not a good lead, you click archive and it says, why was this not a good lead? And you say, they were looking for commercial real estate. I sell residential real estate. It goes into the system. Google verifies that. All of these calls are recorded. They go back, listen to it, and go, oh yeah, they were looking for commercial. Delete, and you don't pay a dime for it. You only pay for the good leads that you take. Now, if you don't sell them a house or list their house after, you know, a good phone conversation, but they're looking for a residential real estate agent, you still have to pay for the lead because they sent it to you, you just didn't convert it. But if it's not, if it's about, you know, anything else, then you don't have to pay for it. Yes?
Is there an app for this one as well?
Yeah, there's Google Local Services Ads app. It's just called Local Services Ads. So you can look that one up as well. You can manage it. You can listen to the calls right from your phone. They're all recorded. It tells the person you're recording this phone call, and then they leave you a message, and you get a notification. Oh, I got a new call. You can go listen to it. Call them back within 30 seconds.
So who do you talk to? Because you said the call will be recorded, and I can go.
They leave you a message. It's a voicemail.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just a voicemail.
Yep.
Okay, before we move on, questions. Let's don't move on. Lanier.
One little thing on the local services, as I was filling mine out, they actually have a person call you to walk you through the process.
Yep.
So you're not just dealing with like the huge giant Google. There's actually people that will really
Right.
screen you and make sure things are going correctly.
And that's because these ads cost a lot. They cost a lot more. The leads cost a lot more, and because there's not as many people doing it. So Google doesn't have 14 million people that they're trying to assist on the phone with this.
But gosh, if we only had our own in-house marketing expert that could sit with me and help me do it, maybe that's some. Dwayne, let's put that down on the agenda. Okay, let's try to find that person if we can. Okay.
Let's go. I know a guy.
Okay, let's go.
All right. And it's good that it's that difficult to set up because nobody else is going to do it. We got you. All right.
Okay, so Greg, where's Greg Janicki? You spilled link juice all over yourself this morning. How'd you get it off? He has no idea what I'm talking about.
So let's talk about link juice. And no, that's not link juice. All right. Link juice, the term juice is an industry jargon, marketing, social media, web jargon for giving you power, okay? Like think of the Powerades and the Gatorades and stuff. So this is done when you get linked to from other websites, preferably websites with some traffic. The more traffic they have, the more juice that you get from this, okay? Also through social media ad platforms. Facebook, somebody's Facebook page can link back to your website. You still get link juice from that, okay? So here's the thing. When you link to someone or they link to you, Google connects you to. All right, you're connected not only in location, which is super important when people are searching for things, and I'll give you an example of that in a second, but you're connected as in one of you grows, the other one grows. You get sucked up into their wake, like behind a boat, and pulled right along, okay? As their SEO rises, yours rises. Or if you link to them, as yours rises, theirs rises. Linkbacks carry a ton of weight in Google's algorithm, starting earlier this year especially. It's always been there. They've given it a lot more weight. Carries a lot more points, okay? Local business spotlights, a great way to do that. We have several people who do those. Bob's video on summer sipping in Roswell. Bob makes that video, picks up the phone, calls Andy Williams, who was in who he interviewed in the video, the executive director of the CVB here, and says, Andy, when you guys do a blog post about this, make sure you throw a link to my website in there, okay? If you post on social, tag me. Yes.
I'm confused on how do I get them to link me? What do you mean by that?
You call and just ask them.
Specifically, what do you mean link them?
What's the action they
Tag
have
me in the post?
Tagging you in a post helps on the lower level. Linking to your website is what you want them to do.
I don't understand what that means.
Okay, when you post about summer sipping, for instance, on Facebook,
right.
When you do it, you put a link to, what was it, summersipping.com,
right.
I believe. You
right.
link people to that. You just gave them link juice.
But then in reverse, how do they link to me?
You tell them, hey, Andy, when you make a post about this, or you post it on your website in a blog, say, hey, we really want to thank Bob Clarkson for coming out and interviewing us today about summer sipping. Check him out at bobclarksonrealestate.com.
Got it.
So they just need to put your website on their post. Now, does it matter if it's a repost or a new post? Like, can they just repost mine and add in their description my website, or do they need to do a whole nother post?
No, they can share it, but they need to put in your address.
Okay, but it doesn't make a difference if they share it or if it's a new post, as long as they put it in my website.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's website, it's not tagging.
Right. You want them to do both, of
Tag
course.
is lower level, right?
Tagger's a lower level, the website. And also, you don't just want them to do it on the post, like you guys are talking about. You want them to put it on their website, as a page on their website. So embed the video on their website and say, thanks so much to Bob Clarkson. Check him out at bobclarksonrealestate.com for coming out and doing this interview. Watch it below. All right, it's a blog post or just a post on their website. That gets that's the ultimate weight. All right, and then you want to also, of course, you did it on your website, so you link to them on yours. Now you two guys are connected.
Does it carry any weight if they just do it on their social media and not their website?
Some weight.
Just not as much.
You get the most bang for your buck on the website.
Okay, so Bob, let's stay with your example for a second. Why did you make the video? The summer sipping video with the Roswell Convention Visitors Bureau.
My target audience is Roswell.
Okay, and why would you link it to the Convention and Visitors Bureau? Why'd you create that link?
Looking at Visit Roswell.
Okay, so you're trying to help people in your community.
Yes.
You're trying, in this instance, you're trying to help the Convention and Visitors Bureau, right? Okay, good. Well, you're a nice guy. They appreciate that at some level.
Yeah,
Okay, why would they in turn do it for you?
they would if we asked.
Yeah, but why do both of them really want to do it?
Because they both get link juice from it.
And that means, Bob, when your SEO, search engine optimization, when yours climbs, they get sucked along with you.
Right.
But when theirs climb, you get sucked along with them, as long as each of you are playing together, right?
Yep.
What's another example of where you could really get some dynamo? You were telling me like the American Red Cross.
Yeah. So let me give you this example. The American Red Cross, when we would do blood drives with them, they would push that up and send out and post it on their website, the National American Red Cross website, of like things going on around the country. We're like, don't care about that really. That's the American Red Cross up there. It matters more when the two websites are local, are in the same vicinity. We didn't want the American Red Cross Washington, D.C.'s corporate headquarters to I mean, they can, we let them, they tag us, but we're like, hey, can we get the American Red Cross in Marietta, where we were located? Can we get the American Red Cross chapter in Marietta to tag us on their website? Tons more link juice, because we're local. Now we've been identified here. And a good example, you want to be identified locally, because a good example of that is when in search, if you type in best New York steak, if you're here, you want Google to know you're here when you're doing that, and it'll tell you the best New York style steak in Roswell. If you're in New York and you type best New York steak, it's going to tell you the best New York steakhouse restaurant near you. Okay? Because you're in New York, best steak place near you. So you want Google to tag you, identify you, and link you to other businesses around where you are to solidify. So when people say real estate agents, best real estate agent near me, you get pulled into those search results. Another good example would be Selena's downtown Canton businesses, Manuela's videos on Roswell landmarks. You reach back out to those landmarks who all have websites and say, hey, I did this video. Could you post something about it and tag me in it? All right.
So now Bullock Hall, you're getting sucked along with Bullock Hall's online generation, right?
Yep.
Right. You're not just doing something for them, but now because you did something for them, you're asking them to do something for you. And the thing you're asking them to do for you doesn't cost anything.
Right.
And they're glad to do it because they get benefits from it.
Makes sense.
Questions? Let's don't move on from this. Manuel.
So if you want them to tag back to you, you know, like that one would bring, if I call and say, would you put my website on there, that would bring my website up, but not necessarily that video. Is it as effective if you just have them do the video? I mean, it pretty much has to be the website, right?
The most link juice that we should all shoot for the most we can get, right? And the most link juice you can get back in these situations are website to website, all right? Everything else carries some weight underneath that. Sure, tagging somebody back has multiple benefits to it. You know, yes, sharing your video will increase the views on it. But as far as raising your portfolio just by another business's portfolio being raised, then that's what link juice is, and that's why you want to go website to website. That's where you get the most.
I have a question. Does it need drive traffic away from your website? Like, is it not a concern?
No.
Because if
Why?
I have a business on my page and they click on it, and don't they go to their website or something?
I got news for you. People go to lots of other websites anyway. You sent them there. They found that place through you.
So the question is, if I put links on my website, won't people leave my website and go somewhere else? Yeah, guess what? They'll leave somewhere else and go to your website too. So the mindset on all this is changing, right? So it used to be that you wanted to drive people to your website and you wanted to capture them there and you don't want them to leave. Well, they're going to leave anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay? So be more open with this.
You promoted them anyway. You made a video about them and put it on yours. So if you were, you know, you're already in the game with them.
So when you see the next time you're on like Facebook and you see something where somebody's posting about the lunch they're having today, and you wonder, why are these people showing me pictures of the lunch they're going to eat today? Okay, well, maybe that's what they're doing, and maybe they're trying to get a little link juice out of this. Maybe they're linking to McAllister Sandwich Shop, and maybe they're getting the manager at that McAllister Sandwich Shop to link back to them. Maybe they're actually implementing a higher level strategy than just showing you the sandwich they're about to eat.
Yep.
Maybe they're just showing you pictures of their food, but it could be a higher level strategy. And this is how if you remember back to the Google search page that he showed you, you have to go to the bottom of the page to get the organic search results, and then guess what? You ain't showing up there. Why? Because the ones that showed up there were Realtor.com
Yep.
and Zillow and Yelp, and you aren't competing against them. You have no chance. But you can get driven up by getting these other people, get sucked along with these other businesses with your link juice.
And we're going to talk about search in a minute, so we got some bullet points on
Now,
that.
before we move on, one thing. I want you to remember this word, pixels. And this is why you want to drive people to your website, okay? So we're going to tag back to that.
All right. All right, let's talk about search. Search has changed, guys, and it's now all about location, location, location. I know you guys are familiar with that phrase as real estate agents. So, like Mike said, let's go to a local restaurant. Leave a review. Check in there. Google is now tying you, if you're logged into your Google account and you leave a Google review as your business, your real estate business, or as you, Google now ties you two together in that location, what we were talking about a minute ago. And that is yet another reason to do local business spotlights for people. All right. Another thing that's important in search right now is called NAP, name, address, and phone number. If your name, address, and phone number does not match on every single piece of your digital platform across the web, you get penalized for that in search. So some of you, I just glanced, pulled up some people real quick. Some people had like the brokerage phone number as their only phone number on some platforms. Some people use their cell phone number on others. Some people use their home address. Some people used our address here. You got to streamline that across the board. If it doesn't match on everything, you get penalized. All right? And social activity now, more than ever, plays a huge role in Google search. Massive role. So you think that I'm just over here posting on Facebook, my Facebook business page. Doesn't mean anything to Google. Yes, it does. Google sees all. All right, and basically you got to think of your social platforms as like social amplification engines, and you got to crank them up. You got to push. Most people are not going to do this, which means if you do it, you're going to win. Okay. You got to create content, post it, share it, link it to other people, have them link back to you, and repeat. It sounds like a lot of work. It's not.
It is.
You're right.
This is why you got to get up, get dressed, and go to work, because you got a lot of stuff to get done.
Yeah.
Every day, if you want to compete.
Okay. All right. So let's talk real quick about digital plumbing. So I give this example, and I want to lead with this because I try to explain it like I would explain it to somebody who's never heard of the concept or the idea. You got a water line that comes into your house, just one. It splits off and goes to a water heater, and then you have two. You have hot water and cold water. And then magically, anywhere you go in your house and you turn on the hot water handle, hot water comes out. That's what digital plumbing is, okay? You're connecting everything so that anywhere someone goes, there you are. You're the hot water. All right. So we start with the big ones. Connect your website, your social media, and messaging. It could be Facebook messaging, whatever platform you're using. And do it thinking about the 3 A's. Analytics. You want to know how much you're spending per conversion. Audience, who are you marketing to? Who is that audience? And advertising, running ads at those people that you're marketing to and knowing how much they cost. All right, so think of it as 3 A's, analytics, audience, and advertising. And this is where pixels come in. Mike brought up pixels a few minutes ago, okay? There's Facebook pixel and Google pixels. Google pixels are much better at obviously tracking analytics with Google Analytics. Facebook pixels, first of all, question, who has opened Facebook on their phone? Okay. Who has finished making a post, put the phone to sleep, and then woke the phone back up and maybe searched for something on Google? Everybody has done that. No one logs out of Facebook on your phone, do you? No. That's how it works. You're still logged into Facebook. Whatever you do on Google or whatever website you go to, that Facebook pixel now knows where you've been. That's why it works.
Okay, so I like to think about it like this. Pixels, little gremlins that live inside your devices. Those of you have a laptop. You have a laptop open right now. You have little gremlins, and those gremlins are watching everything you do, and they're telling all the other gremlins about it. I last week bought 3 belts. Can you possibly imagine how many I bought 3 belts on Amazon, not on Facebook. Can you imagine how many ads I'm getting for belts right now? And if you like these belts, you'll like this product too, right?
Yep.
Who's had this happen to them? How do they know I bought 3 belts off Amazon last week?
The gremlins.
The damn gremlins is out there telling everybody, hey, this sucker, he buys shit online, so market to him. And gosh, if we could just do this, could we do the same thing?
Yeah, we can.
So hold it. So Bob makes a thing on summer sipping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, is that for alcoholics or something? It is?
It
Okay,
is.
great. And he tags in the Roswell Convention and Visitors Bureau, and they tag him in, and people are on the Conventioners Bureau, and they're like, well, yeah, we're interested in Roswell, Georgia. Well, here, click on this real estate agent's website. And they click on his website. Holy shit, the gremlins just got released. You're interested in real estate. Oh, we're going to show you every damn house in the world that's for sale. And if you like houses, you might also like mortgages. So we're going to show you Greg's stuff. And if you like that, you're going to need a closing. And here's Marino and Associates. These damn gremlins, you want these gremlins. People are using them against you. You can use them against people. How much does it cost for me to buy a gremlin?
Gremlins are free.
Free?
They're free on the market. Yep.
Now, Rob is up here cringing because that's a really horrific explanation of what pixels are. But I like to think about it like that. They're just little demons that are spying on me.
They're demons.
You don't like it? Tough. Get over it. It's happening. You should have no expectation of privacy. None.
And for those of you who say, no, I'm an iPhone user and I've opted out of being tracked, only, surprisingly, that number was supposed to be a lot higher, only about 40% of iPhone users have opted out of Facebook tracking. All right? It's even less when it comes to Google and Amazon. They want them to track them. It's like 10 to 18%. 40% on Facebook. It's much higher, and that's because of the Cambridge Analytica stuff, and are they selling my information? They get a bad rap. So, and if you're using our Zap site, yes, you can have a Facebook pixel on it. You should, you will have a Facebook pixel on it.
Wouldn't you like, Lisa, you come across a prospect through your referral Wonder Woman thing, and they're moving from California to Georgia. Okay, lots of people in California are coming to Georgia. Okay, so they hooked up with you one time and you started the process with them, right? Great. Wouldn't you like it when they go to Facebook, there you are? How about if they do a Google search? Wouldn't it be great if you showed up there? Huh? How about every time they did anything online, there you are? You guys have businesses that do that to you? Oh, hell yeah, you do. My wife buys stuff online all the time. Way too much if you ask me, but that's a different, well, what? Yeah, Jane, you get any ads pushed at you? Oh yeah. Are you pushing ads at your prospects? So it's just not something you talk to those people in California about one time, and now you're setting them up on searches and FMLS, and you're going to put them in your CRM. Yeah, you're still going to do all that. And you're going to email them your embedded video every week, right? Say yes. Just please say yes and humor me. Yes. And you've got a newsletter, and they're going to get your newsletter. And all that stuff you're going to continue to keep doing, except now you just released follow-up hell on them. Now your little gremlins are tracking their little butt everywhere they go online, and everywhere they go, they're seeing Lisa Lewis. And this cost what?
It's free.
It's free.
Yep.
It's free.
So think of it like this. Who's started filling out a form online and then had to bail to do something else? Everybody in the room. Who's put something in their shopping cart and not finished checking out? Like,
hey, watch this. 67% of all shopping carts are abandoned in the United States. We all do it.
That was about the percentage in the room. So here's what happens. The pixel on there is set, there's an event trigger, and it says, if somebody puts this pair of shoes in this cart and they don't check out, remember that their Facebook information, and now we're going to run a special ad just at those folks with that same artwork that says, hey, you forgot to finish checking out. If it's a form, hey, you know, sorry something came up, but you know, you didn't finish filling out the form. Still would love to talk to you. The actual ad is actually targeted to based on the event that they did not complete, or they did complete. If they do fill out the form and sign up for your newsletter on your website, then you put that, we put that tag, or you put that tag on the thank you page, which means this person actually finished it, and you have an ad that says, you know, God, love my customers, and I'm so glad to have you as one of them. They're the only ones seeing that.
So this is why we don't want people to go to Zillow and search for homes for sale. We want them to browse for homes for sale on your website. Because if I looked at homes for sale, maybe it's real estate porn. Maybe I'm just doing it at night when I can't go to sleep. Maybe. Lots of people do that. But I want you to start getting my stuff all the time now. And guess what? I don't want to have to be pushing the buttons and pulling the levers to make that happen. I just want it to happen automatically, don't I?
All right. That is Pixels in a nutshell. Apparently they're gremlins. More on that later. Let's talk real quick about video.
Okay, before you go on, I want to say this, okay, because we're going to run out of time. If you like this type of program, I want to hear it from you. If I don't hear it from you, I'm going to assume this was a boring waste of your time and you don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. I also want you to know this. If you're feeling some anxiety right now, if you're feeling some overwhelm, if you're like, there's no way I'm going to figure this out, and there's no way I'm going to find the time to do all this stuff. For everybody that wants Rob to come make a video with you, I go, okay, it's not what I'd be using him for. Get a damn tripod and make your own video. That's not what I would want to take his time to do. What I would say is, hey dude, today we're talking about Google My Page and Google Local Services ads. And next week we're talking about my own website. And we're going to talk about pixels. And this is the stuff, you've got a resource available to you. Too often, you've got somebody with a master's degree in this stuff and you're asking him to help you with multiplication tables. I wouldn't. You don't really need him to come make a video with you. You don't really need him to help you set up your Facebook page. This is the stuff you want to be talking about. Well, why isn't he bringing it up already to me? He can't read your mind. He doesn't know what you want to, he doesn't know your level of sophistication. He doesn't know your level of motivation. And he's not me. He's not going to give you a hard time about it. He's just a nice guy who's going to help you with whatever you want to talk about that week. You have to want to talk about it. This is why we're doing this program today. Because I want you to be aware of it, and I want you to be sitting there going, is that for me or no? If you think, yeah, I'd like to, I just don't know how, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it, that's fine. I don't want you to know how. That's why I say pixels are gremlins. That's all you need to know. He needs to know how to make it work, and he needs to sit with you and help you get it implemented. You don't have to know how to do it. You have to ask for what you want, because he can't read your mind. He doesn't know your level of sophistication. He doesn't know your level of motivation. Some of you in the room right now are going, damn, can I just go take a nap? And some of you are pissed off because you're not already doing this stuff. He doesn't know the difference. So you have to ask. That's what's incumbent upon you. To master this stuff like right now? No. As a matter of fact, this is all you need to know. Okay? But you asking for what you want, you have the initiative to want to. Make sense? Okay.
And just for the record, everybody without a Google My Business or Google Local Services ad account at least set up, next week is Google Week. All week in our coaching appointments.
Yeah, that's what I told him. You ain't talking about nothing else but that
Google
next week.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about video real quick. Facebook and Google, who owns YouTube, are in a war. They hate each other. And so here's how we handle it. Posting video natively to that platform is more important than ever right now. More important than ever. Sharing a YouTube link on Facebook and thinking that you're done, those days are over. All right? Facebook will penalize you actually for doing that. And yes, you still obviously still can post it there, but you have to post your video natively too. And especially, by the way, until you reach 101 subs on YouTube. Topics. You guys are like, I don't know what to make a video about. If every single day, Monday through Friday, at least 3 people tell me I don't know what to make a video about. I have hundreds, literally 2 sheets of paper front and back with 109 ideas. You take those topics and you make videos related those topics and relate them to what people are searching for, all right? I'll go over that with you in our coaching session as well. And you're gonna get better at it. Some people have made 10, 12 videos now and they're like, I still am horrible at this. You're gonna get better at it. It takes about 35 to do, 35 videos to get good. And this is something you need to start doing too. Start pulling 1 minute long snippets from your longer videos. Some have 3, 4, 9, 10-minute videos. Pull 1 minute long snippets. You should do this horizontally and vertically. There are different platforms. The vertical videos are used for the TikTok, IG stories, Facebook stories, stuff like that. Okay? You're gonna need both from now on. And there are apps that'll do that.
That's what I was going to ask. So you don't have to shoot them.
Nope, you don't shoot them twice. You just, if you're the only person in the video, then the vertical part, you just slide that window to you and it exports a vertical video of it.
Do you know the app offhand?
No, come see me afterwards.
Okay.
I'll put it on Workplace. And think of snippets like pieces of a puzzle. Why, how, and what. All right, so take these little snippets, the whys, the little pieces about you, your values, nonprofits you work with. How is short videos focused on data, breaking it all down so that people can understand it in your audience. And the what, how you can help them. So they're going to see maybe 3 different videos from you on this platform as opposed to one long form video which other people may watch.
So watch this. Let's pick on Bob for a second because it's so much fun, okay?
It is.
So Bob made an 11-minute market snapshot report video.
3 years ago.
Well, it feels like it was just yesterday, doesn't it?
3 years ago.
He should, that's way too long and nobody's watching that. But break that down, break it out into 10 or 11 different little shorter videos, and that makes your content more robust. Ain't nobody watching an 11-minute video. But you can break it down, like Rob said here, and break it up into shorter content, makes you more robust. Make sense?
And one more quick thing on that. When uploading videos like that to YouTube, if you're covering 3, 4, 5 different points, break them up into chapters. Mark them as chapters on your video on YouTube. Each chapter gets served up in the search results on its own over on the side. So people may be jumping into the middle of your video if that's the topic that they're looking at. All right, and social media, real fast. You got to think of these platforms as content creation vehicles. You are creating all of this content. You got to amplify it by doing the things we talked about earlier, getting it out to other people, asking them to share it as well. Getting that juice, get the link juice back again. And that is all I got time for because it's now 11:45.
Okay, so don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you're lost and you'll never catch up. Don't feel like you're too old and this is all bypassed you. The person sitting next to you doesn't know what the hell we're talking about either, okay? Everybody, we're all learning this stuff together. Most of this stuff is within 6 months, okay? So don't let overwhelm freeze you into inaction. And here's the huge advantage you have and what I want you to take advantage of. We pay a lot of money every week to have resources around you so that you don't have to be an expert on this. I don't want you. You're good at what you're good at. You're good at helping people find and sell the homes, right? And you're good with people. We call them soft skills. Your soft skills are really good. But there's a technical side of every business these days that has to be there. You have help. Please take advantage of it. I look at his marketing calendar and my heart sinks most weeks with all the empty spots and knowing how much we have to learn and implement. Why do we have all these empty spots? Where's the initiative? You have to have that. I am not in that business. If you're not motivated and not inspired, I guess I don't care either. It's your life, it's your business, it's your income. You have the resources behind you. We may be the only brokerage in Atlanta that does. Take advantage of it. And if you just don't even know how to get started and ask the question, that's a question. I'm not even sure where to start. Where should I start? What's the basics?
Go to BrokerMint and get on the calendar.
Okay. Because most of the stuff's free. Well, I'm not making any money yet. I don't care. Of course you're not. I was right where you are too. And I didn't have any money. But we didn't have all this free stuff available back then.
Right.
Make sense? The missing thing here would be your initiative, and you want, to this extent, make him cry for mercy. Break him. Make me have to hire him assistants to get you the help you want. Instead of his calendar being 25-30% empty every week, make it jammed full and make him threaten to quit if I don't get him some help. Because in 2021, being a real estate agent isn't helping people find the right house. They don't think they need you to do that. They don't need you to do that. They don't think they need you to help them get their house sold. Being a real estate agent in today's market is about being a marketer. You are not in the real estate business. You are in the business of marketing yourself. And if you don't get that concept, you're going to get left behind. There's 43,000 real estate agents in the metro Atlanta area. 58% of them are considered inactive, which means they sell 2 or less homes a year. Did you hear what I just said? Almost 60% of the real estate agents in Atlanta are considered inactive. What's going on? They're trying to operate their business in a part-time manner with full-time expectations, and they won't move out of the 80s and 90s. But look, they're going to say the real estate market's very challenging for them right now. Well, don't tell some people that. We have agents in the room right now, Bob and Lisa. Lisa, you think this is a bad real estate market? It's too tough?
I hope it stays this way for quite a while.
I hope it stays this way. She's killing it. Bob's killing it. I didn't ask his permission, but he'll get over it. Now, over $350,000 in commissions year to date. The year's not half over. He doesn't think the real estate market's hard. Leanne doesn't think the real estate market's hard. It's not. But almost 60% of agents in the business are inactive. Why? They're getting left behind. Why? Because more and more of the top agents are implementing these strategies, and they're taking that 60% business. Even their friends are saying, I would prefer to do business with this person and not my friend. Why? This person looks more credible to me. And now today, more than ever before in our history, is the consumer able to determine that. And that's why this is so important. Whether you want it to be or not, look, I'm an old guy too. I really wanted to go back to 1985 with a lot of print stuff all around me. I really do. But my consumers don't. And more than ever before, your consumers are able to tell who they do and do not want to work with. And if you've ever had a friend choose to do business with somebody else and not you, that's why. You aren't that credible to them. If you were, they would have hired you. But the good news for you today is you've got Rob here. His job is to help you. I would encourage you to wear him out. Like, he can't go home at night. He never sees his wife and kids again. To that extent. Sorry, dude. No. Questions? All right. Okay, let's go to work. Ready?